Alright, here we are for another track guide. We're in New Hampshire after being gone for some time because of the giant 2.5 milers and the 1.5 milers and the garbage package that goes with it. So we're at a 1 miler, which I'll do, and road courses. So New Hampshire, one of those boring 1.5 milers with progressive banking. I don't really like this place. Kind of wish they'd replace it with a road course, but yeah. Anyways, number 1, a keys to the race card. It's going to be wheel spin / tires, which tires you already knew, but wheel spin is kind of only happening on late exits, so it's not actually wheel spin, but it contributes to it. That once you heat up that tire to a point that it stops gripping, even down the straights it'll start spinning the tire. Can't really explain it. Number 2, pretty much the opposite, wheel lock. Locking up the left front or right front, depending on your brake bias, because you're braking quite a bit in the corners. And number 3 would be your typical short track shenanigans, dive bombers, spinners, you know, people spinning on their own or both together because of that. You know, dive bombing leads to a spin because somebody runs into someone. Progressive banking is something to look out for. I guess really nothing else I can really say about this track. I guess the higher up you go, the tighter it gets, it seems like. The more right front grip is up there. I have no clue. Anyways, let's get to pit road. Let's get to the lap. Alright, here we come to pit road. I'm going to downshift to third right in the middle, the corner, since speeds are that low anyway. I'm going to get down to 45 miles an hour, right at the cone. Take this long ass pit road, which we're going to skip. And you can accelerate right at the green cone, stay under the yellow line, and your blue cone for merging should be on the right past this wall. See, there it is. Alright, let's get to the lap. Alright, here we are about to take our lap. Fixed setup, fixed weather. The weather gave me a 119 track temp, which is kind of slick, I guess, but yeah. Fixed setup, only change I made was the steering ratio to a 12:1 instead of 10. Which means I had to move the offset to a +8 to get it back to where it was pretty much. And the brake bias to a 63. And for any further questions, these are always fixed setup. I'll never do an open one because it's kind of hard to do that, you know. Everyone could be running something different, so that's why these are always fixed. For the fixed series, that's why. I'm pretty sure somebody asked that at one point. Might as well answer them now, right? So we're gonna play the lab and then we'll talk about it. So here we go. And there we have it for 30.3. So let me back that up. Alright, so when we get to 1, I'm going to be pretty hard on the brakes. About as far as they'll go before lockup. As far as they'll go before the lockup. So let's see. Slow-mo it. As I get closer. Alright, slow-mo it. You see these little markers on the right? I'm going to get on the brakes right at the 2 or slightly before the 2, and I'm using quite a bit of brake. I'm driving sort of down to the second groove, and then I start to straighten up while I'm releasing the brakes while trail braking. I should be at 0 brake right about here, and I'm going to this third groove, which is why I kind of accelerated there. Also gets it to do some rotation. And once I get up here, I'm going to start going the other way using the throttle to rotate the car back down to the second groove and trying to get as straight a launch as you can. You can see I'm not even full throttle yet. I should have been by now. There you go. You can see the wheel still being messed with here. So we're going to launch off the corner, try to be as smooth and straight as you can, or it'll just lose the rear end. 3, similar approach. We're braking around the 2 again, maybe slightly before it again. Just as hard as we did. Same approach, pointed toward the second groove, trail brake, release the brakes as you're getting more in the corner, letting it roll. Once I get to that point, go up to the third groove, which I don't get as high, I don't think, this time. Yeah, you can see I'm just barely getting up there. I'm using the throttle to come back down, and that's kind of why I kind of got sideways a little bit. I kind of drove it wrong. Like I said earlier, the higher up you go, the tighter it gets. So pretty much once you're pointed, you get to stand on the throttle, but you gotta be careful because you had to do a correction there, and that's about it. So yeah, again, not the most in-depth track guy, but there's really not a lot to say, you know, just brakes and turn. I mean, pretty much did the best I could there. And again, it's not about hot laps. You're better off just doing a consistent pace that won't get you killed or run over or burn your tires up. The thing is to try to find the sweet spot where you can run as hard as you can without wasting tire. So basically being efficient. So there's that, maybe. Anyways, we'll be back at the next track guy. I don't know what it'll be, but yeah. Anyways, some racing Chewy sign.